Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than senior midfielder on the women's soccer team, Alana Kualapai. Alana, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. You were one of the Oaks. They're still here from the 2014 CalPAC Championship team, which was my second year here at Menlo, your first. How have you grown as a player since that year?
Oh wow, 4 years seems so long ago, but
Yes,
so
it
short
does.
at the same time. But I think I've definitely grown as a player by just being able to slow down my game and not being so, quick-minded with everything, and just trying to slow down my mentality. I think mentality is like the biggest piece. So I think just being able to slow myself down and getting myself into like the right kind of plays or the right kind of tackles, and especially trying to coach up my teammates as well, just giving them that positivity and motivation throughout the game as well.
For sure. And part of it, of course, has to deal with the fact that you're now healthy. You've been able to
Yes.
play all season long. You had a couple injuries earlier in your career. What's it been like to be on the field week in, week out, game in, game out?
I think for one thing, it definitely feels good. I came into freshman year redshirting from a previous injury, and then junior year having to come in halfway through due to another injury. So I definitely credit me being able to come back on the field to my support system here, whether it be from like sports performance, doing recovery, or from the athletic training, just doing that rehab every day, and especially my support system from the girls and my coaching, and just also from my loved ones and the family and friends I have here. So just playing for them and playing for myself, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Now you're from Escalon, California.
Yes.
It's a very small town. I was surprised to learn that it only has a little over 7,000 people. What is the one thing I don't know about Escalon that I need to know about Escalon?
Oh, that you need to know. Let's see. Well, I have two things for
Okay.
you. One, it is called, its nickname is the town of Peaches and Cream.
Peaches and cream.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That was going to be the follow-up question.
Yes, I don't know why, because it's a agricultural town, so
Okay.
kind of fits in with that. And then the second thing is there's only 4 stoplights in the whole town. So I could see them in my head right now. That's how methodically placed that they were.
So when you hear country songs about a one-stoplight town, they're almost talking about Escalon.
Almost, pretty much, yes.
That's
Just
funny.
spot on.
And you know exactly where they are.
Exactly, almost exactly.
Are they like
Yeah.
in a row or anything on one major road, or are they
They're,
spread out a little bit?
There's 3 of them, kind of like, I guess, in the main part.
Downtown.
In the downtown,
Yeah.
sure, which is just kind of one street, and then there's one that's kind of like on the outskirts a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Peaches and cream, 4
Little
stoplights.
Escalon, yeah.
Let's talk
Escalon.
let's talk a little bit about the team now. Last week was monumental for you guys as a unit. You scored off against 2 teams ranked in the top 12 in the nation. First, I want to ask you, how pumped were you as a team to face these teams last week?
I think just coming back from, that first away trip that we had, and that trip not being so successful, so being able to hit them with the rematch, both these teams, was definitely something we were coming out for, and just wanting to go straight on and just finish it, just put it away, just go right after it.
It was a loss and a tie the first time on the road. This time the result's completely different. The first game was against number 12, the Masters, and really I think it was one of the best games that the GSAC has seen all year in terms of women's soccer, and ended in a 3-3 draw. What enabled you ladies to come back in the second half of that game, down 2-0, and score 3 times to put yourself in position to win?
I think just at halftime, that switch just came on. It was, we can't lose. We're not going to let us lose. And we just had this little saying, we haven't lost a game at home yet. So that in itself just turned us on, and we were able to put it away and finish the game like how we did.
And then after the outcome of Saturday's game against Westmont, 7th in the nation, you still haven't lost a game at home. You took them down with a 2-0 win, the first win in program history against Westmont, and the first win in program history against a top 10 opponent. How were you ladies able to take control of that match? Because from start to finish, you were in control.
I think that, again, that just goes in with, how we did that first away trip, and not getting the result we wanted, and then going back and be like, okay, we still haven't lost a game at home. And I think we're able to control it just by our mentality, because I'm not gonna lie, that game wasn't the best that we played, but being able to put those 2 goals away and just keeping our motivation, just keeping our hopes up and pumping each other up throughout the game was definitely something that we needed.
Yeah. And a little tidbit, after writing these questions, of course, the rankings come out, and now Menlo College is ranked effectively the 26th best team in the nation. You're the first team that is receiving votes just outside the top 25. Has that been any type of conversation piece between the team?
Yeah, it definitely. When we first received votes earlier this year, that was something that that gave us good energy. And now since that we have this, being ranked 26, it'll just put our sights in and have us, hone in closer to what the goal is, which is the big tournament at the end. And so we just got to make sure we can't lose sight of that and just keep doing what we're doing so far. And
cracking the top 25 for the first time in program history would be a pretty good way to make sure you're going to that big dance later on. Now, Amanda Nebezuk stayed hot again this week, but a couple of the big goals in that game against Westmont, Amber Hicks and Ariadna Ramirez scoring for you ladies. How is this team able to feature so many different goal scorers? Because Amanda leads the team, and she's only got 5 this year, and they've all been as of late. How are you ladies able to be so deep?
I think it starts with the whole team, definitely. Starting from people like Kaylin to the back line, just working our way up. And I think it goes in part with just one, being hungry for it and working as a whole team throughout the 11 of us, and just putting it in the back of the net. And those people like Ari, Amanda, and Amber just being those people that are there at the right place at the right time when we needed them the most. So, and then you have people like Kato, a defender who's just taking on the middle. So it could be anybody on the team at any given time.
Yeah. Now their final regular season game is on the way. Senior day against William Jessup. We were talking a little bit about this off the air. Your final regular season game at Wunderlich. How are you going to be able to push through these emotions and focus on the task at hand, a win, and then potentially getting to host a playoff game?
I think my senior game hasn't hit me yet. Still a little early, but I'm pretty sure Saturday, the emotions will set in. But I think, with my teammates there and the other seniors that we have, we'll all be able to pull together and just lean on each other for our last home season game and just push through. I know we can do it.
Yeah. Now, for you folks at home, the tiebreaker is a little weird for the 4th seed in the GSAC playoffs. The Oaks and Hope International are tied right now for the 4th spot. If Menlo finishes with a better result than Hope International on Saturday, Menlo will host Hope International in the playoffs. If they finish tied, which they are right now, Hope gets the playoff game. You ladies lost at Hope, but you guys haven't lost at home, and Hope has only won 1 road game all season. Do the math. A home playoff game looks pretty good for Menlo College. That would be November 3rd. All right, Alana, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. Everyone knows this by now, but I'm going to ask you 3 random questions. Give me your best answer.
Okay.
Question number 1. Which teammate would be most likely to indulge in escargot?
Oh, man. We have some pretty picky eaters on this team. So, escargot. I would probably have to say Cheyenne. She seems like she might try it. Maybe. I don't know. I think she'd go for it.
I don't know what would make you want to even try it, quite frankly.
I don't know. Just go ahead, Shy. If you try it one time, let me know.
And make sure the entire women's soccer team is there to see, because I think they would all like to get a kick out of this, quite frankly. Question number 2. Which teammate has accumulated the most turf burn over the course of the season?
Oh, goodness. There's a couple of them. I know one for sure is Katie. She has a pretty good sized one on her shin that's maybe like the size of my hand. It's just like plastered on there. She got a few weeks ago, and it's still healing on her. Lexi just got a couple of them this past week. Sydney, Maya has had numerous also, so it's a little collective group of us.
Have you ever had or seen one that goes like the entire length of your shin before?
Katie's close. Katie's the close one.
Because I have experience with that.
Yes.
And it's not fun. It takes me back to my high school days.
Yeah, they're not pretty.
No, it is not. Diving on turf fields is a bad idea.
Yes, it is.
Question number 3. Which teammate has the most creative idea for their Halloween costume?
Oh, Halloween costume. Well, most of the team I'll just say for Oktoberfest this year, they decided to get sashes and have, a little description on it that says like Miss something. So like, for example, like Lexi, hers is Miss Atherton Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's see, like Sydney, hers is like Miss President because she's very like opinionated and stuff like that. So that's what the majority of the team has right now. Oktoberfest, you'll see the soccer team with a bunch of sashes on.
What are you going to be?
I'm undecided right now. Have a few days to figure it out.
I was going to say, but you are running out of time though, because you're only a week away.
Yes.
So you're going to have to figure this out here pretty soon.
To be continued.
Everyone go to Oktoberfest, and then you'll get to see her costume potentially in person. Maybe if you have it by Saturday.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So then you have even less time.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, it's work in progress.
Yeah. Although, I mean, you could just do the generic sash, but it sounds like since it's very popular, you might want to break the mold a little bit,
We'll see.
Stay tuned, everybody. Alana, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And again, the final regular season game of the year coming up for Menlo College women's soccer. They do have a non-conference game on Thursday against UC Santa Cruz, but the big one for them, Saturday the 28th out at Wunderlich Field. They will be hosting William Jessup University for a rematch of a contest that was on the 14th just 2 weeks ago. Oktoberfest weekend, senior day, where we get to honor the seniors such as Alana right here with a pregame ceremony that will start before the expected kickoff, which is at 1:30, and then the playoffs. Menlo College could be hosting, again, if they are the 4 seed, they would be hosting their playoff game on November 3rd at Wunderlich Field. Well, Alana is the final interviewee on Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition for 2017, so she gets to hold that special honor as she rides off into the sunset in her Menlo College career. We invite you to tune in to all the other episodes of Unrooted we have coming up here in the winter months. We have men's and women's basketball on the way, as long as Unrooted Wrestling Edition. Those will be coming up here in a few weeks. So again, we'll see you in a couple weeks when those kick up, and we'll see you out here at Oktoberfest weekend at Menlo College. Take care, everyone.
She's a sunshine girl, lighting up our world. What she does to me, she makes me say, whoa.